Hi there, Eliza here, and Gen 7 introduced the world to something that has now become a mainstay in Pokemon games, regional forms. And with Gen 9 now on its way, I want to take a look at some Pokemon I think would have good ideas for regional variants in this game. Before I begin, I wanted to figure out the average of regional variants introduced in each of the three regions so far, Alola, Galar, and Hisui. So I did! Alola gave us 18 from 10 regional variant lines. Galar gave us 19 from 10 lines, with 6 of them being new regional evolutions in the base game, with an additional 6 from 4 lines in the DLC. And Hisui gave us 20 from 16 lines, with 6 of them being new regional evolutions. So 3 regions giving us a total of 63 Pokemon, with a grand total of 40 lines. We should divide that by 3 to find out that we have a grand total of 21 from 13 lines. And that number seems to increase with each game. So I will be doing 14 lines for this. And one will be from Gen 7 because Galar had one from Gen 5 and Hisui had one from Gen 6. I'll be removing Meowth from this as well, as I think it's more of a give that he will have one due to having one in both Alola and Galar. Number 14. The history of Europe is the history of menageries and zoos. And the royals of Spain and Portugal, like many of them, were known to keep these. And being since Spain was close to Africa, they had a lot more African creatures in them than other regions in Europe. So I think it would be cool to have a regional variant of Giraffrig in Gen 9. Now, because these menageries historically were not very well taken care of, I think we could have the Giraffrig form be a unique thing in Gen 9. Split variant. 2 variants of the same Pokemon introduced in one generation. And honestly, I think these designs from Art Homeless would be an interesting one for the regional variants of Giraffrig. One being fairy to represent the well taken care of menageries that are looked after and well fed and pampered, and one that is a either ghost or dark to reference the horrendous menageries and zoos that would treat the animals poorly. However, they should both retain the normal type, not the psychic type. So we would have a fairy normal and a ghost or dark normal type Pokemon. Number 13. Now, even though we just had a return to Gen 4, these two Pokemon really didn't get much of a boost, still being a late game water type in BDSP, and only at a certain area in certain times of the day in Legends Arceus. Yet I still feel these two Fishmon deserve more. So I found this artwork by RobZord93 and thought it would fit well with a regional variant of Finneon, especially with the evolution looking kind of scorpion fishy. Now, the Iberian Peninsula is connected to the Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean Sea has a lot of scorpion fish. The difference is, while RobZord93 has them being poison type, I would have them be poison fairy rather than just poison type because I think it would definitely give this underappreciated Fishmon some love. Number 12. Bubble is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5, especially since the creation of regional variants because, like another Gen 5 Pokemon, Yamask, it is designed in a way to allow for easy implementation of regional variants. Just change what it's carrying on its back. And that got me thinking, first about it having a kind of steel form with it wearing a helmet, but then I saw this image from Kurt West. A bug and ground type while carrying pottery. Now, if you look through history, Iberian pottery is gorgeous, so having a bug ground dwebble carrying Iberian pottery on its back would be amazing. Especially if they gave it a completely different regional evolution that incorporates more of that pottery into it, rather than having it become Crustle. Number 11. For those who don't know, it is illegal to build sandcastles on a lot of European beaches, especially in Spain. So I figured it would be a good idea to have a form of this Pokemon because I like Sandygast and I would like to see it return. However, being since we should have a reference to the real-world incident of not being able to build sandcastles, we should have it have a regional variant. So I could be thinking, what can you do in Iberia that would replace sandcastles? And that got me thinking about Iberia's Crystal Caverns. And I think this artwork from Midnight's Remix has a lot of good energy for a Sandygast regional variant that takes control of the surrounding rocks to become a rock ghost type. And I think that's kind of cool. Number 10. Ever since Gen 3, we were told that Corefish is not a native species to Hoenn. And it's obvious that the Crawdaunt evolution adapted to resemble the native Sharpedos there. So where did Corefish come from and what did it used to look like? A lot of people think that Corefish should have its original regional variant held off on until like the Louisiana region, which would be awesome. I mean, imagine a Pokemon game infused with that much blues, jazz, and funk. Yeah, I would love that. However, I think the Siberian region would be a great time to introduce a regional Corefish as well because, yeah, there are crawdads there. As for their appearance, this design by Sandygast would actually work quite well, though I believe it shouldn't have the dark type, as I think it would make more sense if it picked up the dark type from the influence of Sharpedo. Thus, I think it would work best as a fighting type or a water fighting type Pokemon. Number 9. Now, when people talk about snake Pokemon getting a regional variant, almost everyone immediately goes to Ekans and Arbok. In fact, there's actually already fake leaks about Ekans and Arbok getting a regional evolution and variant. However, I think that the better option is Seviper here, especially when you think about the fact that water serpents are actually quite common in Iberian Peninsula, especially the grass snake, which is a type of water serpent. But the name grass snake? That would be a great way to make a water grass serpent Pokemon. So I went looking for a water grass variant of Seviper, and while I didn't find exactly what I wanted, this image by Shushiro is just too cool not to use. Just add a few grass elements onto it and it would be perfect. I also think it would be cool to give it a regional evo because it needs one. Number 8. Paras and Parasite have long been known to be Pokemon's most forgotten Pokemon. However, they did get a recent boost in popularity with Legends Arceus due to their aggressive nature. They still need something more. So I was thinking about what could be done with Paras and Parasite, and that's when an idea hit me. In Gen 4, there's a bug poison Pokemon that becomes a dark poison Pokemon, so what if we borrow an element of that concept? I think this design by Hexless would be good for a Paras that starts off bug poison, but then becomes bug ghost. I like the long, spindly legs and the sickly white-blue hue. However, I also feel a third form where the mushroom has taken over even more would be great. Have it like floating with the legs dangling down. Yeah, that would be cool. Number 7. Now recently in Legends Arceus, Braviary was given a new form. Yet in black and white, it was kind of paired with another Pokemon, Mandibuzz. Knowing that Gen 9 is Iberian-based, I think it would be a great time to have Mandibuzz get a regional evolution alongside its compatriot, while having this Pokemon now based on the Iberian bearded vulture. I think this image by Kimart would be great for a regional variant of Mandibuzz, and I think it would be a good idea to have it be a flying fighting type. Yes, I know that makes it weak to Hisuian Braviary, but if you think about it, Hisuian Braviary is weak to Unnovan Mandibuzz, so I think it measures out in the end, especially since then it would also make it so the Siberian Mandibuzz would now be strong against original Braviary, kind of like layering it, like an arms race of Pokemon. Number 6. Did you know that Magmar is supposed to be partially based on the blue-footed booby? Because I didn't, until I did some research. And the reason why is because the booby looks like this. What part of this looks in any way like Magmar? So even though the booby is native to the islands off the coast of South America, I think it would be a good idea for Magmar to have a blue-footed booby variant of it in the Iberian region. Again, to reference the exotic menageries and zoos that were commonplace in the area, as well as Age of Exploration. And I think that this artwork by Blue Jay Zilla would be perfect for it. Now, a lot of you would probably be thinking it would be a water type, but I disagree. I think it would be amazing as either a pure flying type or a flying fairy type, personally preferring the pure flying. The artist also did make a variant of Magby as well, but I don't think baby Pokemon should have regional variants, and I have a reason for that I will discuss in another video. Number 5. It is a bit weird to have Gen 6 variants when the real-world countries like Kalos and the New Iberian region are based on Cherbourg in the real world. But there is still one I would like to see, because in Kalos this Pokemon is based on a combination of perfumes, French cabaret, and plague doctors. Now if you know the history of that, it makes sense. Both cabaret dancers and plague doctors used a lot of perfumes in their work. However, I think Spritzee and Aromatise could have a more gothic look and feel if they were based in Spain, as Spain has lots of areas that are more gothic in feel and look. Which is why I think that this design for them by Dupiter 101 would be amazing. Because when I see this, I am reminded not just of plague doctors, but of the Latin American dance known as the tango performed by Morticia and Gomez Adams. Which, while the dance is Argentinian in nature, if I recall correctly, it was also immensely popular in Spain as well after it was developed. Also, I think I just like this design better for them in general. As for the typing, I'm thinking that this would be a great Pokemon for being a ghost type. Number 4. Houndour and Houndoom may have gotten a Mega Evolution in Gen 6, but I think they deserve a regional variant, especially since there's a perfect fit in Spanish folklore, the Urco. The Urco is a large white dog of Spanish folklore that acts as an omen of death. With Houndour and Houndoom already based on the black dogs of folklore, it'd be interesting to see them be refit into being the white Urco instead. I feel this artwork by Fatmon would be perfect, and I like the end design, which I'm assuming was originally going to be a regional variant Mega, but I think it works as well for a final evolution, as it kind of needs one to be competitive in the modern era. As for typing, I can think of 3 types for this one that all could be interchanged. It's either got to be Ghost, Fairy, or Dark, in any combination. Ghost Fairy, Ghost Dark, Fairy Dark would all be great. Number 3. Did you know that Spain is considered the land of rabbits? Because it is. Because there's a frick ton of rabbits there. And while there are several rabbits in Pokemon, the Azumarill line, the Diggersby line, and the Scorbunny line, most people's lines immediately go to Lopunny. And I think it would be interesting to have a regional variant based on the fact that Spain is known as the land of rabbits and meadows. So a grass variant of Buneary and Lopunny came to mind, and while looking through the internet, I found this artwork by Spring Fallen Deer, which seemed perfect for it to me. Which I think would be great for being a grass fairy type Pokemon. Yes, this one's a bit short, but it's also a little bit sweet. Because bunnies, meadows, Iberia go together. Number 2. For those who are unaware, Dunsparce is my favorite Pokemon. Of all time, period. And I had no intention of putting Dunsparce on this list at first. But then I saw this image by Starlight Mechanica on Twitter, and at first I was only going to give it an honorable mention, but as I kept on looking at it more and more, and thinking about it, I eventually decided to put it on this list. Because with Iberian's connection to Central America, as well as the Pokemon already having vague elements to the Feathered Serpent, I couldn't not include this. This is an amazing one, and I love it. A normal rock variant of Dunsparce that fits more with the Winged Serpent of Mesoamerica look. They also made this amazing rock dragon evolution for it that is just gorgeous. And I think they got the typings on this right as well. A normal rock variant of Dunsparce that evolves into a rock dragon would make it so it's weaker at first, but becomes more powerful as it gets stronger. Number 1. Unfortunately for this last one, which is the one I think fits the region most of all, I could not find artwork I felt fit for all of it. Granted, this is the only one where I feel they should also introduce a baby for the Pokemon, which, because this Pokemon deserves it, and that is because these two have been connected since Gen 1 and 2, respectively, and have been a pair for 25 years. They have never gotten any love in newer games, and they deserve so much more, especially with a region based on the Iberian Peninsula, and those are Miltank and Tauros. I did find artwork for the baby, which I would want them to be introduced, in this artwork by Pokemachi, which looks like a good fusion of Miltank and Tauros as a baby. Again, this baby should look like a pre-evo of the normal Miltank and Tauros because of reasons I will get into in another video. As for regional variants, I think a fighting type for Tauros, like this artwork from Arnow 555, and a normal fairy for Miltank, which I was not able to find a artwork for that I think fits. Yes, sorry, could not find any. I also think that it would be good to give them both evolutions. And I think it would be amazing if they made it so Tauros became a Minotaur bullfighter and Miltank became a cow milkmaid hybrid, just to make it so they have this divergence. I really wish I could find artwork for them, so please just use your imagination. That said, that was 14 regional variants other than Meowth I would like to see in Gen 9. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to support this and my other videos, please contribute to me on Patreon. Contributors get access to my Discord channel, they can read my scripts early, and they can help me decide on upcoming video topics through voting on polls. For those who didn't know, I am homeless and I'm trying to get money to create a community home for people who are homeless and have suffered abuse that I have set up on Patreon. If you would like to either spread the word or donate to that. And if you want to just talk to me while realizing I'm a human being and can be a bit adult and mature at times, I have a Twitter that you should be 18 plus if you follow. Also, links to all the artists mentioned in this video will be in the downstairs box. Also, I'd love to thank the artist who made my avatar, Kiaderi, again, as it has been immensely helpful in making videos. And her link is also in the downstairs box. And one of the first things I will do when I have an disposable income again is have her make more poses for my avatar. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.